welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Ponytail from CZT Angie Gittles. So this is a neat grid pattern. I'm going to do a 4 square. Just because I feel like it today. And I love Angie's tangles because there's a lot of them that are neat looking and easy. And this is one of them. All right. So starts off with when you have your grid, and honestly, you could use this just as a singular box. Just depends on what, and fill in a section. It just depends on what you're looking to do with it. But I thought I would do 4 here. Whatever section you're filling in, we're going to start it off with putting diagonal lines in the boxes or spaces. Running that pen at the wrong angle. Let's see. Yeah, you can see. A lot of these pens, I'm using the PN pen because sometimes it's just what I like to do. It's nice because the PN stands for plastic nib, and it takes a lot more punishment than the other one sometimes, where you could press and press harder, get a thicker line. But either way, you kind of still have to use the point up. It's not as important to do to write with the point down, write or draw with the point straight down. The regular microns, you want to do that straight up and down because you don't want to bend the nib. Okay, once you have your spaces, then, and I'll just do one for now. Straight line right in the middle is how I do it. And then this one I'm going to subdivide it with, I'm going to put 2 in that space. Usually I like to subdivide and then subdivide again. But there we go. I think if I did that, there would be too many. And then we'll do that on the bottom. But in all honesty, you can do it however you want. Whatever works best. And then, and let's do this with all of them. One thing, if you're doing it this way, one thing that I did notice is, like, although I don't necessarily recommend just drawing the straight line through. I mean, you could. I always pause at the intersections because, oh, well, apparently I'm doing it all this way. I was going to alternate the spaces, but that's all right. The hand wanted to do it this way, so there we go. So what's neat about this is I fill in these little spaces with these lines is that besides being, it's a neat tangle, but you can also treat it as a fragment. And the fragment would just, just this box. And what I was going to do is in this reticula, the grid, I was going to turn it. And so that's what's fun with using it as a fragment, because you can, in each box or space in your reticula, you can turn it however you want. I mean, this one really you have 2 options. It's either this way or it's on the side. But when you do that, in a larger reticula or grid, then it's you see neat meta shapes, like this diamond right here, these openings, and then you can have fun with it. And so that's what's neat about using fragments is, and and turning them however which way you want, is to see the meta shapes that turn up afterwards. Okay, so now the last step is has options. So in Angie's step out, she just puts an orb in. I'm going to leave a little shine here. and fills it in. There you have a ponytail holder, right? So there are, of course, lots of options you can do. And that's what I'll do 4, and that way we can play with options a little bit. So there's that. You could put in, I kind of like the double, because, when I used to wear ponytails and ponytail holders, you had to, these 2 balls is what held the ponytail thing together. So you could put 2. You could just make a box. And honestly, anything else that you can imagine that you want in there, you could do. One of the things that I really liked that Angie did was, I'm just going to put an orb in here. And, let's see if I have a finer. Okay. This is a 005. There we go. And we're going to put rounding at the ends of all of these. And you'll see what neat thing happens from here. So these are just some of the variations that Angie provided. I think there was one more in there, but do take a look at the For More Inspiration link in the description section, because then you can see the other options. You can also see Angie has some really gorgeous samples there with this paired with some other tangles. So do take a look at that. All right, so, and that is it. That is it. But we could probably do just a tad bit of shading, and that's going to be up to you. But I always like to, let's put it where these converge, because really when we put in whatever we're going to put in the center, it kind of hides that convergence. So we can just accentuate it a little bit. Like that. Yeah. I like that. And depending on the size, if you wanted, you could put some on the outsides as well. If you wanted to, then it would make kind of a bit of a curve to it. But I personally kind of like this. And of course, it is a personal thing. Whatever you like. Don't have to do it at all if you don't want to. So, hope you enjoyed this. If you did, would love to have you click like. Feel free to share it, leave comments. And if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. I mentioned the description section. I always do my own version of the step out, and then link to the originator of the tangle. Then below that, ways to connect with me. So if you really, really liked it, you really like my style, then just so you know, I teach classes almost twice weekly. A lot of them are free. We would do something like this. It's an hour twice on Thursdays. We do the same tangle. I might pair, like this, because it's simpler and easy, quicker to do. Might pair it up with something else. You just never know. You never know what you're going to get when you get there. There's no prompting or anything, for the most part. Every once in a while, I'll let something slip, but nobody knows. Even my mother, who's also a CZT, who joins me on all of the calls, I don't even tell her. So it's a fun time. Would love to have you join us. So that information is on my website. Just find the menu item for classes/sessions. You'll see also the ones that I do that are paid. And we also have a membership club. And I have one exclusive class a month that is just for the club members. And yeah, so come join us for free. See if you like it enough to do more. All right, so with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.